Hey, it's us. Once again, we're here for another Iyanla episode. Fix My Life. This is a new one for us.
Yeah.
This is a family of 7, I believe, right? It's six daughters. It consists of 6 daughters and a mother. The mother name is Alicia. And let me run down the names for you. We got Keisha, who's 31. She's the second oldest. She's the one that brought everybody together. She's the one that wrote to Iyanla and said, we know our lives fixed.
Yeah.
Shay, she's the oldest one. She's 35. Marcia, she's 26.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Okay. And I really don't have nothing on her. She's just there. It seems like she came for the party. Precious, she's 29. She's a big part. Bianca, she's 27. I think she came from the party too. She got an invite and came.
She got a little bit of a story, but they ain't really talked about it too much.
She must have texted the story. it wasn't. We don't know nothing yet. It was,
Well, she was kind of in the same boat as Precious. So who's the last person?
Markel. I think that's her name.
I think so.
Markel.
Uh-huh.
She's the youngest. And she what they say, she said she spent 6 months in prison or in jail.
The last 6 years.
Maybe
they said 6 months. I thought I heard
fresh out.
6.
She seems somewhat of a.
I would have guessed that.
I would say her attitude, just how she's
demeanor.
working her demeanor seems like, I ain't gonna say she's a troublemaker, but she knows trouble.
After hearing her talk and interact with the sisters,
she's young.
I get it.
She's young, and you gotta watch your purse around her.
Was it was it robbery or something?
Armed robbery.
Armed robbery.
Armed robbery.
So she about it.
Yeah, she been listening to too many trap music. Damn it. She done took that shit literally.
Right.
And then
did time for it.
And did time, so she she stamped.
Right.
She can say that.
The teardrop tattoo in there. They don't do that for armed robbery.
She can either, do further damage, or she can speak at youth engagements. It seems like you want to go that way. You can't stay middle. You done did shit, and so you had to go either one.
Maybe they'll talk about what she's going through as well, and how she got to the point where she's robbing folk and going to jail. Maybe that's a part of the story. That's why this is 3 parts.
Well, yeah, it's a 3-part story. The first part, it's not that much. We get to know the women. We first meet the sisters. First we get with Keisha, because she's the one that
wrote into
Iyanla. And Iyanla sat her down like, why am I here? She gave her that oracle voice. Why am I here? You know how she do. and she tells us, why? I'm the one. I'm basically the peacemaker of my family. And she seems like she's the most rational person.
Yeah, she seems to me like older than the oldest.
Child. She has sense about herself. And she has. It seems like she has wisdom.
I can see that
among all the other sisters,
especially when that little altercation broke out towards the end of the episode. Yeah. She was the one trying to keep the peace and speak reason to the oldest sister.
She doesn't have that. I ain't gonna say hood in her, but she doesn't have that. She's just not set off and just start cussing or have a rebuttal to everything that goes on. You know what I'm saying?
Because she seems like she's reasonable.
Yes.
And the other sisters, some of them, because we didn't hear from most of them.
Like, I can sit down and talk to her like a real person. And, even make a comment or a joke, and she wouldn't take it, across the street somewhere, and think of something like that and flip out, or have something to say bad. And so it seemed like it's the right person to come in and do this. And Iyanla said, well, okay, let's meet the other sisters.
And well, she was saying like her family, like they're so torn apart. Like the sisters don't really care if they talk to each other or see each other, and she doesn't like the fact that they are that way. I mean, they could get mad at each other, hold grudges, not talk to each other. We're supposed to be family.
Yeah.
Like let's act like a family.
Let's be a family unit.
Yeah, let's get back to, and then also with the mother, they cut the mama off, or a lot of them do, and they don't care that they're not speaking to their own mother.
It's a lot. I think Precious is the most estranged because she was adopted. We found out that she's adopted. I think she's the third oldest, and I think she lives away from the other sisters. And so and the other sisters alluded to us that we really don't know her. Right. Like.
That's the vibe I got.
Yeah, and she was the most emotional.
Right.
It seemed like she was the most. She was the one that was away from the mother. For the most part,
and then away from the other sisters.
Yeah.
So even though they were saying like we haven't been all together for 19 years, I think the other sisters had opportunities.
And she the one that said that. It seemed like she was counting. That I haven't seen Gal since I was 8. 7 or something when we all played.
Right.
And then that was it. It seemed like that was that type of, she wanted that.
Right. I'm about to say, if that's something that, a relationship that you wanted, and that was the last time you had it, you're going to remember.
Yeah, you're going to remember it. Right. It seemed like she's the one that said, 19 years. we haven't seen each other. Everybody else was like,
And then that speaks to the relationship that they have with each other.
Yeah, and so that's Precious.
Right.
And I think she was the first person that we really got to know because she was over there crying so much, and all the sisters together, they gathered and hi, and greeting each other, and Iyanla was talking and old Precious over there just weeping, and she was like, "What? Okay, now what's going on with you? Why these waterworks? Come here, come on." And she gave that Iyanla moment, come sit on my lap type deal. Come, another person, she trying to rock. I ain't got time for that, man. I'm like, but people need, it's some therapy because for some people.
She wasn't really mothered.
She wasn't mothered, so. And Iyanla gonna be that mother.
She don't mind.
She don't mind. Come on.
Yes. Come on. I think at one point Precious didn't know she was serious. She was like, come on.
Okay. Am I supposed to cry at this moment? I bet she was like, she was acting in when she got into her lap. Like, afterwards, she was like, I'm okay now. I'm like, okay, the joke is enough. I'm a big girl.
But the fact that she kept weeping the entire episode, something was definitely going on.
I think it was because she wasn't around the family.
Right, and she was holding a grudge with her mom. She was saying like, you gave me up for adoption at 7 months. Like nobody really has a relationship with me. I don't really get to call my sisters or call anyone to talk to them. I can't call my mom like I want to. So of course she's feeling some type of way.
Yeah, and Iyanla's like...
And this might be just like a happy moment for her, just being around her sisters again.
She probably just being emotional just because the fact of being emotional, Like you said, okay, my family is here.
And then you start to ask yourself, why couldn't this happen without Iyanla? And so you probably start feeling some type of way again, like, forget these assholes. Y'all could have called me, but, it is what it is.
And we found out she had like 7 kids.
7 kids. And we found out that the grandma had 6 kids.
Yeah,
the mother had 6 kids. And she had 7 kids.
And like, well, we trying to. What they say? The sister said she keep keeping the streak alive, and what do y'all? Was like something to the effect like you trying to beat out your mama, or you want to be better than your mama because you got
trying to outdo her or something like that.
Something to that effect. It was a little jokey joke, but I chuckled a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, but that's on her, and then ain't really too much as far as when we got together and dealing with Precious. That was a lot. And then I think then she said she went to Shay, and Shay is the oldest one, and she was like, you got to be the example because all the other sisters are watching you,
right?
You the firstborn, and they going off of you, and it seemed like that's how it was almost.
Well, You also
especially
have to
when the altercation earlier. I mean later on, but
right.
yeah.
They were saying how the mom, I guess she was into drugs, and a drug addict. She would go on binges or whatever, leave the kids abandoned, and I think Keisha even said she was the one who would have to call Granny like, "Hey, Mama done left. We haven't ate, or And if you're the oldest. And Mama's out here doing all this bull crap and with who and whatever, and you have to be the one responsible for the kids and constantly have to deal with that child after child. And she had 6, and so you have to mother 6 kids and then deal with your mama and her drug addiction and whatever else is going on. I would feel some type of way myself. And so when Iyanla was asking her, like, "Hey, what do you want? What are you expecting as far as your relationship to to come out of this with your mom?" She was like, "I ain't really expecting anything. I'm here more so for my sisters." And I did. We kind of skipped over that little exercise that they did. The only thing I want to say about it is I appreciated the fact that they were actually coming together, not judging each other, just having a good time. It seemed like they were having fun, but also learning the things that they have in common.
Oh, we haven't got to the exercise. That's right before the mama.
Okay.
The exercise is right before the mama came.
Right.
And the exercise was like they went outside and she had a line on the ground, and it's basically like getting to know each other almost type deal. It seemed like something you do on a job or anything that when there's new people around and trying to get to know each other.
Sisters. But They didn't know each other.
She was asking, different questions. Have any of you, damn it. Oh, do any of you have hair weave? Mm-hmm. Do you cross this line? Some sisters had something, some sisters didn't.
Right.
Just getting everywhere. Do you prefer summer over winter? And then she went to, more, personal stuff. Are you a virgin? Do you feel abandoned, or have you ever cussed out your mama?
No. Let's go back to the virgin, because that's the one where one sister decided, she didn't cross over because she felt she was still a virgin.
Yeah,
and I'm like, she seems old enough to know what sex is, but then we find out that she said,
she could be a virgin, have sex.
She could be. But I'm just saying,
how the other sisters how they reacting,
and you got another sister that got 7 kids. I'm just saying.
Well, that's no bearing.
I'm just saying
another sister
7 kids, and she's like, "Well, I haven't had sex with a man."
You at least got 2. Nah.
I thought they all had kids. She said, "I haven't had sex with a man," and then it's like, "Well, what does that mean?" And Iyanla was like, "Well, have you used the fruit?"
Yeah, you done had sex with something.
Does that make you a non-virgin having sex with a fruit?
I don't know. Maybe once you pop that cherry, it might be. It's over and done with. That's my feeble mind.
And she said, "Was it alive?"
Like, and they were laughing. I'm like,
and that was
this a joke. I wasn't privy to. I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on.
But they seemed to be having a good time, and that's I felt good about that moment.
Maybe it was another girl. Maybe she she liked the tongue instead of the.
Well, when Iyanla said, "Was it alive?" I think she said no. So maybe it was like a toy. It don't even matter.
I don't know. They had a little chuckle over there.
Yeah.
And so, it was a good moment.
Yeah.
It was a good moment.
And it seemed like the show was going to be a good, episode. I'm like, well, what's really the
drama? When
these
3 parts might be, you should have known. You should have known this was just the calm before the storm.
Right.
And it seemed like, but the mama wasn't there yet.
Right.
So that's the storm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason that they all are there.
Right.
I believe, because of the mama. She's the one that birthed everybody. Mm-hmm. She's the root of everything that's going on. And so we bring the mama in because Iyanla's like, basically, we not really gonna get nothing done until the mama come and and delve into that. So the mama come in and she was like, your daughters are here and they don't like you.
Right.
You basically, enemy number 1. And she was like, well, you basically gonna have to deal with that and what's your problem? Well, I was young. I think she had the first 2 in high school,
mm-hmm.
Shay and Keisha. And then she said, well, you know, and I think the third one, I think she was still a teenager. She went to high school.
Right.
She said, well, I gave her up because I just did, you know, I didn't want another, basically responsibility of the third one. I didn't got pregnant for the third.
With another child.
Yeah. I'm young, you know.
Right.
It by normal means, or it was whatever you want to call normal, you should be college age by now. You know, you on your third child. Mm-hmm. You know, most people you know, they're not thinking, you know, they don't have that type of family at that moment. Well, it happens, but that's not the norm.
It's not the norm. And my thing was, you already have 2 kids. Yes. And you feeling some type of way, you delving into drugs or whatever. What makes you have the third one? Or then the fourth one? And you know what that kind of bothered me. The fact that you weren't really being who you were supposed to be in your kids' lives, but you keep having them. So that somebody else, because another one of the kids, I think it was maybe Bianca, another one of the kids were raised by the grandparents, not by the mama. Yeah. So I'm like, why they didn't have birth control back then? Is that a thing?
She said, and Iyanla was like, you know, so you know, now that you got grown women, you know, what is it? And she said, well, you know, it is what it is. That's basically what happened. Mm-hmm. And you know, and she almost like it was, you know, just a
very very dismissive.
Yeah. And I think she said they were like they won a priority,
right?
You know, at that moment, and so that
she was young. Yeah, she didn't give a shit about them kids. She didn't know to give a shit about them kids.
Man, that nope. And while we I'm about to take old detour, and you know, nah. And you know, she was asking about Precious family. So why did you give her up? And she was like, well, you know, she's like, do you have a good relationship with the family? Yeah. And she was like, no.
Because it seemed like it was more relatives in Louisiana that she gave Precious up to. Yeah. And then she said she didn't have a good relationship with him.
Was it the paternal? Wasn't the paternal parents?
Hey, I don't know.
It wasn't her family? It seemed like...
You ain't gonna make me know. I don't know. Well, but it seemed like Keisha knew. Keisha knew. So as they were talking, for some reason I was thinking that it was Keisha's father's family. But I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was a totally different...
Maybe
totally different family.
I still don't know, but
we haven't
she said she didn't have a good relationship with them. Yeah, yet you give your daughter over to them. So that didn't make sense to me.
And then she asked, you know, like why? Mm-hmm. You know what's going on? She's
like, why didn't you have a good relationship with that family?
Yeah, she said, well, I was molested by
so and so.
They didn't, you know how they do, you know, the editing. They didn't give us the name. Or,
they bleeped it out.
Or who, you know, how he was associated. Mm-hmm. And she was like, you know, and she said, well, do your daughter know? No. She said, yeah, she has a good relationship with him. So I don't know if it's a daddy or an uncle. But by that time, I'm like, but as a mother, about 18 years old, and you getting molested. I'm to the point where you know where, okay, no, you know what, no, and that's it. I don't want to be molested type deal. You old enough,
yes,
to. What was her mindset during the molestation? Because she already had 2 daughters, so she know what sex is.
Yes.
And then you gonna let somebody molest you?
I don't know if she let somebody molest her.
I ain't gonna say let.
She was molested, but she was. I didn't understand the part that she let her child go with this family. If somebody in this family molested you, and you weren't concerned about your daughter.
I want to know that story. I want to know how that happened.
She's going to be reluctant, it seems like, to tell that story next week. But I think we're going to delve into that a little bit more on next episode.
You know,
I think.
I can see, you know, when you're younger and you don't know anything. Mm-hmm. But that just, you know, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. It seemed like it would be more, you give it a more adult name, sexual assault. Or something, you know, but molestation.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm still on molested, and you already got.
But she may not have been 18. She may not have been 18. She could have been. But she had. High school don't mean 18.
But I'm thinking she was out of. I guess it's an unanswered
question. They didn't say she was out of high school when she had pressure.
But she had 2 already. Goddamn it. Well, I did know it was.
That don't mean you can't be molested because you.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying, as far as I guess I'm thinking in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna say you learn from it wasn't a mistake of hers, but at least have some type of learning. Look at
but
we on Iyanla.
We on Iyanla.
So I
do you think any type of learning happened while she was having these kids?
I guess not, because she had 5 other mistakes after the first one. So I ain't gonna say mistakes. I keep on backtracking.
Just move on.
The babies ain't mistakes.
You digging your own grave.
Yeah, I keep on.
And then moving over here and digging another one next to it. If this one wasn't enough. Move on, brother.
This ain't fixed, JT.
It's about to I got questions now. Shoot.
Moving on. That's when we meet the mama. And I'm with him when the mama comes.
Mm-hmm. And reunites
with the daughter.
Okay.
She come and she goes up the stairs and it seemed like everybody was just like help your mom. She up here struggling, trying to get up the stairs with her luggage, and they were all just like help her.
Yeah.
But
you can tell that they didn't have a relationship.
There's no respect as her being a mother figure,
right?
Or just being another older lady. If I see some, a lady, especially an older lady, trying to struggle, let me get that,
right?
And let me go up the rest of the stairs or something.
But you're also a man, and we were taught that.
Right.
So that's it's a little bit different. Women don't look at
true.
other women
they was just
let me
at
help
like,
you.
You don't have to do them yourself.
Yeah. Did nobody tell you pack all them clothes?
Yeah, I got arthritis in my pinky finger. I can't do it.
Right.
I got a cup in my hand. I can't help you. And so they, one by one, they greeted her.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first one actually, it seemed like they was just waiting. Okay, you be the first. You be the first.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Bianca, the first one, that came up and hugged her.
Right.
And then I think Shay came in and hugged her and like, hey, hi, mommy. I'm like, I wasn't expecting this out all the shit you done talked right before.
I think it was Precious before Shay. Because remember when Shay hugged her, that's when the shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
But Precious, that's when it was almost like you saw love there between Precious and Alicia because they kind of embraced each other. Well, Precious was emotional.
By then, I already knew. It seemed like she probably would have kidnapped her ass. You gonna be my mommy forever and ever.
Right.
She felt she was like a little kid.
Right.
As far as everything that we were going through. Mm-hmm. In this episode, she just wanted her mother and she wanted motherly love.
Right.
And that she didn't get. It seemed like the other ones were burned. Or,
they were kind of over it.
Yeah.
And it could speak to the fact that the other ones are around each other so they can talk about mama.
And they have
they
some
can share
type
those
of
experiences. She don't really have that. So she's looking at, right now it's an opportunity to, I guess, make amends and be with my mom.
She don't have that hate back behind, what's
she got
going
some,
on. She got
but
some,
it ain't the same as theirs.
It seems like it's more questions than hate.
I can see that. I can see that.
And so, like you said, then Shay came and hugged her. And
I really didn't see anything wrong with Shay's hug.
I did. It
was like
a little
joke. It was more than like a church side hug.
No, it was a hug.
But it was one handed though.
It was.
I'm thinking that's why Marcia had something to say about it.
Yeah, she was like, look at Shay hugging mama.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like Shay was like, she didn't want to feel like, it seemed like she'd been the bad one for so long, the big and bad one, fuck mama. It seemed like, she felt some type of way, okay, I'm showing love to her. Oh, look at her showing love, and she, she's supposed to be the one against mama. Mm. That seemed how it came off, and then she had to be bad,
be tough
again. What you talking about,
and then cussed out pretty much Marcia.
Yeah, cussed her out,
called her the B word and all that.
Yeah, she went there. And and Keisha was like,
it was confusing because it's like it didn't warrant that response.
No. Iyanla took the mama away, and Keisha was like, what? Why you got to do that? Mm-hmm. She said a little statement, but why you got to cuss her out and call her on a name?
Right.
It ain't that serious.
It wasn't.
It really wasn't. But you never know what triggers a person.
Right.
Somebody can say something, and it seemed like that's what did it. And so they get together and whatnot. The next, I don't think it's the next day.
I think it's the same day.
It's the same day. Yeah. They go back downstairs, everybody together with the mama, and of course, Precious, you know what? she over there weeping again. Got the tears in the tissue and just. And Iyanla, it seemed like Iyanla was like, okay, what now? You know, because I keep on having to come to you.
Yes, but it didn't seem like rude.
It wasn't rude, but like
it was okay definitely like. Now. She said, "How many years of tears is this? That you're giving us today? Because you've been crying since inception. Like, what's going on? Like, do we need to start with your story? One of those moments." And she said, she's been ever since 7 months is how long she's been, I guess, holding back these tears or this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Iyanla said she got 7 children and holding on to years of tears.
Yeah, and her mama she switched places with one of the daughters so the mama could sit by Precious and Precious was telling her story. She said I heard that you want to get abortion and and then they told you not to and whatnot, and she basically wanted to know why.
Mm-hmm.
She had questions,
right,
of what's going on, and they were just hugging, and it seemed like she still didn't give an answer. The mama still didn't.
And I don't know if the mother was ready or in the mindset to give an answer. And I don't think it was warranted. She needed to listen to what she probably always gives answers and the bullshit.
And it ain't the right one.
No. So just listen to what your daughter has to say and what she's going through. Talking about how you gave me her for adoption and you had up to a year to come and get me back and you didn't. So all this time she's been wondering why mama don't like me, why mama don't want me, and feeling some type of way.
And then she turned. She gave the floor to Shay. She said, "This the oldest now. This the one that that felt everything that you were going through. Right. This your firstborn.
Because she was there with you.
Yeah. She and Shay gave the floor. She like, what say you? Well, I feel disappointed. I feel hurt.
Right.
You basically didn't do nothing for me. And she's like, I don't know how to forgive you. And she was done with her.
Right.
And she felt like she couldn't rely on her. You're never there.
Right.
She's the oldest, so she's the old. Yeah.
And so she feels like everything everybody else felt.
Like a deadbeat dad. A person would feel like a dead. To a deadbeat dad. That's how she was feeling
to her mom,
to her mother.
But her mom was there, but not there.
And that gives me another question. They never say nothing about the fathers.
Yeah,
and that's always our question.
It doesn't really. For some reason, I'm thinking they all got different fathers. I don't even know why I'm thinking that. But
where are they? They didn't mention the father or man.
Talk about it next episode.
Maybe next episode because men wasn't in the subject nowhere.
And I'm wondering with Precious having 7 kids, is her baby's fathers in their lives?
And usually that's where it starts. You got to have
because it's a cycle repeating.
To have kids.
And sometimes we don't stick around. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh wait, we know that, especially as black folk. We know the nowadays or for a minute, fathers have just been absent.
We got to change the cycle. Hopefully they get some help. But right now we're just getting into
it. That's the first episode. We delving into it. Hopefully. They'll find a resolution. Find a resolution to everything. We'll see how that go. Shout out to all the mothers. It's Mother's Day today.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, grandmothers, aunties, and everybody else to take care of their kids that's of the female species.
Peace.